Pop quiz. How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon? Wrong. 4.5. Yeah, I'm full of jokes today. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing all right, having a good day, having a good weekend. Or I guess by the time I've posted this, a good Monday, you know. Either way, this is your captain speaking. Oh, my camera! This is your captain speaking. Fury Strength here. Today, we've got a beautiful, beautiful day. You know why? Today is a great day. As always, guess why? We have the opportunity to chase after a huge lifetime goal / PR. You know what that is? 600 pounds. Now, I am not going to be attempting that today. I'm not going to be attempting that for a few weeks at least. But what we are going to do, see, if you saw my deload back squat from last week, you will know that squat is the one that I probably go to war with the hardest. That is the one I am most determined when I do, because for me that is the most technical, because there are so many things that go into a perfect squat, and very rarely will you ever see a perfect squat. In a perfect squat, 100 things have to go right at the perfect time, especially on heavier and heavier weights. The higher you go up, the more unstable it becomes, and there's just so many things that have to go right at the perfect time. You just have to be so technically sound on the back squat, and any false movement, any wrong movement at the wrong time can just really screw up the entire lift, especially obviously the heavier and heavier you go. I'm trying to have a lot more swagger. I'm trying to bring a lot more swagger and energy to my lifts, especially on back squat, because that's such a technical one, and I do best when I have that little bit of swagger, have that little bit of aggression, a little bit of cockiness almost, right? A little bit of arrogance. So once again, just like the rest of these past few workouts, you know, we're shooting for RPE 7. We did end up doing 475 for my deload, and like that moved like butter. Like I had no issues whatsoever. Back squat's probably the one where I am the least good at gauging in terms of RPE, just because of how technical it is. Guys, I lost my train of thought. Chugga. See, that's a ridiculous little thing that I do there, but it actually helps. Oh, but just with how technical back squat is, when I hit all my cues, and I'm trying to like get better at simplifying those cues, your cues should not have like a 100 cue checklist. Like there are 100 different things that have to go right, but you need to simplify those cues and make it so within those cues you just have less to focus on. At any given moment, something can go wrong. Like you're never gonna have a perfect lift, but you can have a close to perfect lift. There's always some little thing you can improve on. You are never at your absolute optimal best. There's never a time where you should be satisfied, where you should be like, yeah, I've got absolutely nothing to work on. And it could be in terms of like how heavy you're going, it could be in terms of your form, whatever the case may be, there's just a certain focal point you have to keep. And so, yeah, we do have an RPE 7 today, where we did 475 for the deload. I'm thinking somewhere between 505, 525 is probably the absolute most I'll go, because once again, I'm trying not to overshoot. I will say, with how much those Airwave mouthpieces helped with deadlift, I'm kind of curious and anxious to see how they help with back squat today. We'll see you on the other side. Let's go to work. Let's get this work in. Hoo-wah. Let's get this work in. Hoo-wah. Here we go. as you guys remember me discussing, I was for sure probably gonna shoot for about 505. And on the first set, 505 felt like the perfect weight for RPE7 to stick with. So I was like, stick to it for a second rep before we even, or a second set before we even consider going up. But then on the second set, like really, really good. Once again, it's always hard for me to kind of gauge the squat, like how heavy I should go. Once I hit about the 500 pound range, that's when I really feel it on my back and like really feel myself like fighting just to like stand there. That's part of the technicality, is you gotta walk out, plant your feet just right, and you got to do it kind of quick. None of that to make excuses. That's just kind of how it is, right? We're talking game plan here. We're talking strategy, kind of how to go about it. On the second set, I hit 505, and like, especially the third rep, I went about my cues a little bit differently and just kind of focused on sinking and like doing a little bit more bounce and like a little bit quicker. And it moved better, I think better than the first 2 reps, even like on tape. Now I should have just went to 510, 515, but I really, really wanted that 525. And like just that moment, kind of like that ego got in the way. And I was just like, you know what, with how well 505 moved, 525 would be the absolute max I could go for RPE7. And I want to prove that here. The first rep moved, boom, like down, up, like perfect. Like, not perfect, but technically, it was very technically sound, which is why it moved the way it did. But then my cue on the rep was fine. It was just, I didn't take as much time in between reps as I normally do, and I didn't finish bracing. Like you can kind of see, I'm still, like during the first kind of quarter of the rep, I'm still like, and so that kind of threw me off. So I didn't have a full proper core brace. It's because I rushed it. And so at the bottom, you can see me kind of tilt forward just a little bit, which kind of made me overcompensate in other ways. Like you can see my left knee kind of cave in, and then it was a bit of a fight. It was still pretty smooth after. And so I'm fortunate that I was able to catch it and not, hell, even get injured. Like that is always a risk at these kind of weights. And so I am very lucky. I was a little frustrated, you know, because like I was like, that was supposed to be a triple. I really don't think I overshot it in terms of the weight, but in terms of the reps, like but in terms of performance, precision, and taking the time, right, you can make the claim, yeah, you kind of overshot it. The weight was fine, but just with how well that first rep moved, it was like, no, I really don't think in terms of weight I overshot it. I just rushed the rep. And because of that, I was just like, okay, let's just rack it. We already messed up. I maybe could have gone for that third, but at the same time, why risk it? You know, and I could throw on more potential excuses. I'm not going to. I will say I loved the Airwave mouthpiece. Kind of frustrating in the session. We just need to recoup, rest up a little bit. One of the best ways to rest up is a delicious shake, like the one I did in that video. I'm pointing both ways because I don't remember which way the thing comes in. Just a little bump in the road. Every session can't be a PR, even though technically this one still was a PR, but every session can't be the best session you've ever had. Sometimes you just don't have it. And I don't think that was the case this time, where I just didn't really have it in me today, or that I was lacking focus. I don't think that was the case. I just really think, you know, I just rushed the rep. It's simple, something to focus on, something to think about, and time to work, time to get back to the mental lab, study up, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Pop down in the description to check out my affiliate links. Feel free to stick around and check out some of my other videos. I just hit a huge triple PR on Thursday with deadlift, so you can check that out. And time to get this work in. We'll see you guys in the next video. Here we go.